Good evening. Welcome then to another edition of Friday Night Live before Hull. Good evening. Welcome. I'm joined tonight by the one and only Frankie. Good evening, Frankie.
How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah, not bad. All good, mate. It's been a I will be cutting off even more. So let me just shut down. Fucking hell. Is this all go here, mate? I think it's because WhatsApp just does me. If I have WhatsApp running, then it just does me in. So yeah. Yeah, I think there's a fair amount to talk about. I think we've obviously briefly hit on Bradshaw. We talk about Connolly. We talk about the French boy, and we'll talk about some other bits and pieces. We'll talk about Hull eventually. We'll talk about the injuries, what we've got going in. So I think it's great that we've got two players signed who are pretty much match fit as such, rather than having someone coming in who hasn't played for the last 6 months. So yeah, I think we will start with the video we posted out on social yesterday, which is a farewell to Bradshaw, and just having a look back at him and realising actually, as much as we seem to cut him off on this show, he has scored a few half decent goals in time here. So slightly longer intro than normal, but hey ho, it's all good. Laboratory Garnier. Oh, Laboratory Garnier, yeah. Good evening, Daily Mill, Mark, Connor, Lions Raw, Dan Riggs. You drive me mad on the fucking group chat, all of you. You're just about to go live, keep going mad. Andrew Roberts, Wallline, Chris Brown, Fish Bittens, Jack P, and Carl Brayson and Paul Edmund was the first on tonight. So yeah, sit back, just over 2 minutes, and enjoy this. Off ski. I am going to close down everything. There we go. See where we go. But yeah, your thoughts, Frankie, on Bradshaw going then?
Yeah, I don't think it's a surprise to anyone, is it? I think he was a great servant at his time at the club in patches. So I get the move for his career. Obviously, he's got a longer contract at Oxford than he would have got with Millwall. He's got a chance to stay in the league, hasn't he? So with a manager he knows, I get it from his point of view. And to be completely honest, I don't think it's a massive miss for the club either. So
no, and I think Connolly. No, and I think Connolly could be a great replacement, to be fair. Different sort of player, but if it's a like for like, then we've pretty much cut 10 years off. And we got a guy who scored more goals than him last season as well. So when he was at Hull, he scored more goals. So
absolutely.
And he's got some game time in his legs. So yeah, I think it's all good time. So yeah, adios, Bradders. Thank you very much. Listen, we always gave constructive criticism, and you can't really say what we were saying wasn't right. Your legs are gone. But to be fair, I think under Rowett at Oxford, the way they play, I think he might get himself a few more goals there. So good luck to him, and hope that he gets his final swan song to Wrexham, and then goes on and scores an absolute shit full of goals for them. So yeah, on their way back down the league, hopefully. So yeah, any major points what's been aired so far? How many do you think we'll get by the end of the transfer window? Danny Chappell has put 2 in. He's put, hi boys, still think we need more pace in the wings. I think you're probably right. We'll get on to that in a minute. And also he says, how many more do you think we'll get by the end of the transfer? And more importantly, how many will leave? I don't know if anyone else will leave yet. But I
I
do
don't, I
think
don't think we'll lose anyone that will miss. Oh, it wouldn't shock me if we lose someone like a Wallace or a Harding. No, we've got a centre back in, but I
I don't
can't see
think.
someone like a Tanganga,
I think.
for example.
Yeah, no, I don't think. I can't say that. I mean, that Wolves story, what the clickbait sites keep reposting and everything else is just. I think it's come from nowhere. So yeah, it's one of those, and it is what it is. So yeah, I don't think West Harding will be off. I think he's a good, steady team player. He's just hopefully he'll get in because no one's coming for him so far, unless Oxford coming for him. But Oxford seems to be signing better players. To be fair today,
Yeah,
so yeah, um,
I think it's up to Harding, Hutch, Wallace. I think it's up to them if they want to go away and play football. I think they'll be allowed to go with the club's blessing. So it wouldn't shock me to see one of them leave if that's what they want.
yeah,
But
no, I
who
agree
knows?
with you. I agree with you. So we now have a new comer, Tristan Crama or Crama,
Mhm.
French international or French player, 6'4". Comes from Brentford, wasn't part of their youth setup, but has been there for about 4 or so years. Played for Exeter last year. Seems to have done blindingly well. In the 24-25
Yeah.
season, I think he played from 22 times, scored 3 goals. And in that time, he got 4 yellow cards. And the fact that he got 4 yellow cards just tells me that he's going to become loved by Millwall fans.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit and say I've watched a lot of Exeter. I haven't. I've watched a couple of
That's not what
games
you said a
on.
minute ago. You said I was going to tell everyone that I've watched loads of it, but okay.
I thought about lying, mate, and I thought I'd get caught out. So, but from what I've seen from Exeter fans, they all seem devastated. He's gone. A lot of positive feedback about his pace, his ability on the ball, and obviously 6'4" and good in both boxes. So it
Yeah,
sounds like a good option. But I do think it's worth remembering that again, it's a young guy making a step up. And I mean, if you look at last year, towards the end of the season last year, he wasn't really favoured at Bristol Rovers, I think it was.
yeah,
So, I mean, I think there's been a degree of I don't think we'll see him straight away. I think he's got to earn his place in the side against 2 established good championship centre backs. So I think he's got
yeah,
a journey to go on to get in the squad.
yeah. I mean, I think over his time, whereas he's had 22, 26 appearances, 3 in the FA Cup, 1 in the League Cup, and he scored 4 goals, 1 in the FA Cup, and 3 in the league. Started at AS or Benzies. Started there in the youth and then basically went through them, then went to Bristol Rovers, and then from Bristol Rovers to Brentford, and then from Brentford to Exeter, and then obviously on a loan, and then back to Brentford, and now he is a Millwall player. But you know what? I I don't think it's a bad signing. Um,
Not at all.
and you posted something in the group earlier, what I hadn't really thought of, but it does make you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, go on, explain to the audience your logical thinking, what you put in the group earlier.
Yeah, so I mean, you think to yourself, you putting 2 and 2 together, maybe I'm getting 6, but we I haven't seen anywhere where they've published any form of fee, or even mentioned what kind of money we'll be looking at for Tristan. So, and then you start to wonder. I mean, I wonder if the club would have done something along the lines of waiving any potential tribunal fees that we would have got for Josh Stevenson, who obviously left to go to Brentford, and get this guy instead. If they have done that, it would seem to make a lot of sense for the club. 'Cause it saves them going through a lengthy legal process and potentially getting next to nothing for Stevenson, because who knows what his value would have been. And instead, you're getting an established football league player that's got room to grow himself. So could be completely bark up the wrong tree. But if the club have done that, it would seem on the outset a shrewd bit of business, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I've just put in the YouTube comments. I think it'll probably appear at the top, to be fair, or somewhere. But I've just put in there a poll You know, are you happy with the transfer window? You know, with the transfers so far, and yeah, get involved and see. Let's see what that is in a little while. But I think it's possible because I've not seen anything. I mean, we've been waiting for the tribunal, but we've not even been given a tribunal date, have we? I've not seen anything about a tribunal date or anything else. So there is possibly something in it. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, listen, until you post it earlier, it's a thinking, and it's like, oh, because there is nothing. I mean, there's no trans. I mean, googling now, right now, and putting in, even though he's coming to us, you're not getting anything. I mean, you've got Mill defender, Southwark News, 11th September, but you've got nothing about anything. So I mean, it does make you wonder. And if it is, then it's a fucking bit of business from Gallen. To be fair, it's a fucking shrewd bit of business.
Exactly. If that's what the club have done, that's the route they've gone down. You've turned a potential figure that's just out there in the ether at the minute, and you've turned that into a sort of cold hard asset that you can actually use today. And
to
get a player to essentially not cost you a penny is
it's a pretty
genius.
much an established player for a development player because they both played the same position. They're both left-footed. They're, I mean, to be fair, Josh Stevens can play left back, as in Tristan plays more centre back and more of a defensive midfielder. But yeah, not played any professional games. Josh Stevenson, obviously, the French boy has. He's scored goals. Josh has scored one, but it's in the FA Youth Cup. Yeah, if that is true, and we're never going to be able to know whether or not it is or it isn't. But do you know what? That's not a bad bit of business. In theory, that is not a bad bit of business.
Not at all. And he looks. I said it. Obviously, I'm not going to sit and bullshit and say I know a lot about him. I think Jay in our group chat seems to be the most clued up from his bits doing the EFL Fantasy Show, and he was talking really positively about his ability on the ball and carrying the ball out from the defence and that sort of thing. So hopefully Jay's right, and if not, we'll give him shit for it. But yeah, hopefully he's all of them things, and he can come in and make an impact. I think having a third centre back can come into a squad and actually play and compete for a starting 11 squad.
I'm sorry, I have to put this right. So the Beak, right? This is funny. So the Beak's posted, why is this loaded up on my screen? I live in Chinatown, Birmingham, and support Villa, but shout out Millwall. What the fuck? Well, it means that we're doing something right within the algorithm within YouTube that a non-Millwall fan has found us, and thank you very much. And yeah, there you go. Get yourself a shout out, and
make sure you like and subscribe, mate.
Yeah, make sure you like and subscribe while you're there. That's the least you can do. We're giving you a shout out, and yeah, go from there. Wall line 94.
If you can give us a hand with Louis Barry, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah. Actually, while you're there, the Beak, maybe it's because of Louis thingy, but what do you know about Louis Barry? Does Villa want to loan him out? Because we're hearing that they don't want to sell him, and if he wants to be loaned out, then there's probably no better club to come to because at least they get game time with us. So yeah, let us know what you think. So yeah. Jay's in the chat again, telling us, trust me, John Stones 2.0 in terms of how good he is at stepping up, extremely vocal, future captain material. Now I hope he's talking about Louis Barry and he's not talking about the Beak, because otherwise, IP address through Virgin Media. What have I missed here? As of now. Have I missed anything from Daily Mail? Where's Howdy? Must be off now. I've just got, Daily Mail has just put IP address through Virgin Media. Yeah, it's bizarre. Our sub. It's not bizarre. It was meant to be. So, yeah. That's thrown me a little bit, but hey ho, it is what it is. It is live and we have some fun. So, yeah, we don't take life too serious. Fuck it. But no, I think if what Frankie come up with earlier, that literally that this is a deal as a swap, possibly. Don't know if any money. Okay. Let's have a look at Josh Stevens. Who's his? It's interesting, that the player agent is Wasserman as well.
Who's that?
The French lad.
And who does
which
he do?
makes, well, no, Wasserman is basically makes sense why Dan Marsh broke it earlier. Because Richard Cowley knows someone at that agency. Neil Harris is with that agency, and someone else is with that agency as well. So yeah, that sort of adds up now. But yeah, hey ho, it is what it is. So yeah, the Beak, I know nothing about him. All right, don't worry. But thanks for the sub anyway. Luke MFC. Langstaff went from National League, League 2 to Championship. Crama is winning player of the month, left, right, and centre in League 1. Only a tiny step up, but he'll be fine, I reckon. I reckon you're probably right. So yeah.
I'm not sure it's tiny. When you look at Exeter, they've also got Ryan Woods as their captain playing centre midfield. So you do wonder, that is the standard of football we talk about in League 1, because he was absolutely shite. But
I'll get what you're saying now. Daily Mail was saying if you're on Virgin Internet, then it basically used to say that he was based in the Midlands on Google and stuff. So maybe it's saying I'm based in the Midlands, even though I don't have Virgin. But yeah, that's why. It don't matter anyway. You still got fans on the Isle of Dogs? Yeah, probably. To be fair, there's not. Well, actually, some of our players live on the Isle of Dogs, so in Canary Wharf. So yeah, we're still there. So yeah, can we get Frenchie? Can we get a Frenchie chant going? Tristan Crama's going to beat you. He's going to win every ball with his head. Tristan Crama's going to beat you. He'll leave you standing dead. To Lennon's instant karma. Okay. If you see me tomorrow, sing it to me.
bit before my time, I think, mate.
Yeah, me. Richard Lacey, good evening. We've got fans everywhere. We have indeed. The Ginger Crab Ryan Woobs only passes sideways. We've got a fan in Chinatown now. We have indeed. We know where to go when we play Birmingham away or Villa. But Villa won't be coming down. But yeah, if Birmingham go up, I suppose we can go to Chinatown and he can tell us what's the best restaurant in Chinatown. So yeah, I'll stay. Good talk, lads. Fine, no worries, mate. So yeah, I want to tap on before we go on to SA. Well, I suppose we'll hit SA first, and then we do some of the injuries first. Looks like SA's medical was done today. And hopefully at some point that will come out that he's signed for Palace, unless it goes completely wrong. But I can't see it really. Someone of SA stature, I think it will be easy peasy. But yeah, nothing yet, mate. Nothing telling us that he's signed yet. But yeah, I think that's a good deal for us. If the figures are rumoured to believe, 12, 13, 14 million plus add-ons, plus a sell-on fee, I think that's a blinding bit of business.
Yeah, it's a funny one. It's obviously difficult to watch a player of that ability walk out the door because we can all see the qualities there. But, I think with the current model we've got, and you look at some of the way the club are speaking about moving players on and player trading models, that sort of thing, it's probably something we're going to have to get used to over the years, that we're going to have to see these players come and then go for big money. Hopefully, by going and giving us the funds, that'll be able to free us up to do more and progress. So, yeah, it's obviously a bit of a blow, and I'm sure none of us want to see him leaving, particularly to Palace. But
no, I mean, I don't really. I think it's an age. I think it's an age thing, really. But I don't really see Palace as a rival.
to be fair. You know, my rivalry, and again, you know, we've done this so many times, but again, you know, you can add yours if you want to in the chat, or let us know what your thoughts are about SA going. And don't forget that SA going potentially is going to be written down into Millwall history now. That's the largest amount of money ever played for a Millwall player ever. And hoping going forward that will change, and we'll probably get someone else to be beaten. You know, someone else will beat it, but. You see, my rivals really are probably more West Ham, Leeds, and I'd probably, to be fair, I'd probably go, I don't know, West Ham, Leeds, probably Birmingham, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't say Charlton, I wouldn't say Palace. I wouldn't really say QPR or whatnot. Spurs, maybe, you know, but we don't play them enough. They're always lively games when we have them. So, yeah, I wouldn't say for you. Putting your three rivals, top three rivals, and that would also separate your age group, because I think a lot of the ones what say Palace or Charlton normally, probably when they were younger, used to go to one of those grounds when Millwall weren't playing. That's speaking to a few people, sort of the older generation. They used to like go Millwall, and then when it was away, they'd go to Palace or Charlton. And they've said that in Who Are Yous and everything else. Right now, the poll is running. Are you happy with the transfer so far? They're running at 91% yes and 9% no. If you posted no, let us know in the comments what you aren't happy about. So SA going for a fortune. Fleming went for a fortune. So realistically, between them, if 14.5 and 7, we're looking at about £22 million raised in 2 player sales in this season, which I think is absolutely unbelievable for us and fantastic. So yes, my biggest concern right now going into the next few games is injuries. So you've got Coburn injured, Marku injured, Langstaff injured, Kelly injured, and there's some more, but I can't think who they are.
I think the issue of our injuries is if you look at our squad, and I was sitting earlier, I particularly slowed down at work, and I was looking at our side, and we have such a massive lack on the wing, and in that 10 position now, we've literally got no attacking midfielders really, because the only one's Honeyman, who's just not an attacking midfielder, and you've got Watmore, Amaku, Aziz, and Adam Mayer as our only wingers, and that is just not the strength in depth you need to cope at this level. So that would be my biggest concern if Aziz is injured for tomorrow. I think Alex Nielsen...
Femi's touch and go, allegedly. Femi is going to be made a decision on tomorrow.
Personally, I think he'll play. Don't know why, it's got a feeling. But if he's not, I mean, you are genuinely looking at Adam Mayer, and is Watmore fit for tomorrow?
I don't know. I'm trying to find... They Southwark News done a piece earlier on in the week, but because obviously, where are we now? So it would have been Wednesday. So I'm trying to find it now, but yeah, yeah, I think there's a few injured, which I'm trying to figure out now. So yeah, where are we? 17th. So we're looking at 15th. But I know there's 4. I know Femi was injured. But again, it's trying to figure out which ones aren't. Again, if you're in the chat, let us know if you know any of the ones what aren't or are injuries. So yeah, we can go from there. Going to Palace means SA would have a good chance of playing. Yeah, but a lot of the scouts I've spoken to don't reckon that he will probably play. Realistically, no one really seems to think he's Premier based yet until probably another season, maybe 18 months. So, you know, he might get 1 or 2 games, but I don't think he's going to suddenly start every game with them at all. Do you?
Not at all. I think if you look over the last couple of months and get in the chat, you might completely disagree. But I actually think that Femi Aziz in the last couple of months has actually been better than SA in most of the games, or definitely more of an impact.
Mm.
And if that's just as a bit of an indictment of where SA is, obviously an incredible prospect, but you know he's got a lot of growing to do to get to the level we're going to need him to be at, or to get to the level players need to be at for the Premier League.
Yeah, I think, to be honest, mate, I personally think it's exciting going forward. We've got 2 players that we just signed who are match fit and ready to go. Potentially, they could get in. They could get into the starting or bench tomorrow. We're going to have, I reckon, probably Danny Matt will be back on the bench tomorrow, hopefully. He's back from injury. Cooper's back. I think, realistically, Connor and the Serb will probably end up playing.
Mhm.
Bangor Williams will probably get a game. Maybe some of the other youngsters. So I mean, I was speaking to someone earlier with it that any other day I'd be worried, but the fact that we've got 2 match fit signings just come in who are eligible to play tomorrow, and the fact that we've got the youth on the back of Monday's game with confidence buzzing in them, with Sheridan, with Williams, with Massey, etc. I'm not as worried as I would have been probably under the last couple of managers, where we've not had players. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
where we've had injured players and they wouldn't play the youth, but Alex will play the youth if he has to. He'll play the youth. So yeah,
it's for me. It's not the amount that's available. It's the lack in certain areas. And I think Jane mentioned it in the chat this morning, or sorry, this afternoon, and after the Dagenham game that we switched to a diamond and it seemed to work. I wouldn't be anti us doing that again. You know.
Yeah. Matthew Webber says, "Why are you playing down? SA odd. He'll be stepping up a level, better suited to him. Here's a class above." I'm only going on what agents have said. Agents are basically, and the fact, I'm not playing him down, but I'm just saying that literally he's been followed for the last 3 years by Liverpool, Newcastle, Wolves, and a few other clubs, Bournemouth, and a load of other clubs have been looking at him. Yet it was only Palace what coming for him. So if he was that ready and ready to go, you would have had a bidding war for him. And the fact you didn't just shows really that Palace wanted to make sure that they got in there first, make sure that they secured it. Otherwise, you would have had a bidding war for a talent. If he was ready to walk straight into the Premiership, you would have had a bidding war, and you haven't had that, have we?
I'm not being funny, but I mean, to give the kid credit, you can tell his quality and you can tell he's got all the potential in the world. I just when we say he's not Premier League ready, if you look at some of the players that have come down from the Premier League, you look at like Nonto at Leeds and players like that, and Somerville last year, Jack Clark at Sunderland last year, all made the step up. He ain't that level yet. He undoubtedly will be, and it's still a great buy for Palace, and they're getting an incredible prospect. But right now, he ain't that player.
No, I agree. No, that's it. Crama is no risk. He's been playing for Exeter. He's match fit. Absolutely. Mickey, estate agents do not count. He's not an estate agent. No, it's not an estate agent. So, yeah. But I think it's just, listen, I hope that he goes and gets to Palace. And I heard that Palace weren't loaning him back out because they won him around the main team. But listen, if he gets to start every game, then great. Listen, the lad won 2 young players of the season on the bounce. I don't think there's any other player that's won the young player of the season 2 years on the bounce. He's very grounded. We spoke about it on the other show that when he did his first presentation, like his first win, he come out with a piece of paper and unwrapped it, folded up. He unwrapped it all and he read everything out. And it wasn't like the normal speech. It was, I want to thank Scott Fitzgerald. I want to thank, this academy guy, that academy guy. Thank you for giving me the support. Thank you for trusting in me. I hope that I've repaid your trust and I've shown that what I can do. And with your support, I'm getting better and better and better. I'm training with the first team and I'm doing this and doing that. And that was a couple of years ago. So as far as I'm concerned, the kid is grounded. The kid is, is a good kid. I'm not saying he's not a good kid. He's just earned us, 14, 15 million pound. He signed a contract when he could have ended up doing a Josh Stevenson leaving on nothing or a Lovelace.
Yeah.
But he didn't. Gallen managed to get out over the line. And it's worked. It's fantastic because it's now earned us 14 million pound. If the rumours are to be correct, and potentially with a sell-on on top of that. No other player in Millwall history in 140 years has ever done that. And he done it. And we'll never forget that. And I hope that, in years to come, he's playing in the main England squad. He's playing for a big Premiership club. And he gets the rewards he's due, 100%. But what I'm saying is I think the pathway now is looking good. I think the youth are now getting a chance. I don't think that Monday was a one-off because I don't think we'd have seen that under any of the last 2 or 3 managers, 4 managers maybe. But what we saw on Monday was the fact that he knew he was safe. And as soon as he knew he had a good cushion, he brought players off and put the youth on. And, Williams basically went out there and replayed, that support, that trust, and just, and the goal he scored weren't an easy goal to score for a kid who's, 20 years old, 19, 20? So,
no, it's not. It's
it took confidence.
The passion on his face as well after he put it in. I think it was all made up for the kid, wasn't he? So to see someone do that on their debut, and I think you've hit the nail on the head, mate, about the pathway. You look at a player like SA leaving. What message does that say to a Bangura Williams and was it Randall, the other one? Can't remember his name. And Adam Malachi and the like. They'll all be keen to sign contracts now because they know they can get a chance. We know that Josh Stevenson left because he didn't believe that there was a pathway to progress at Millwall. That's not the case anymore.
No. And again, with Josh, okay, he went, he got, his head got turned and everything else. But at the end of the day, if your thinking works, then we've got the better side of the deal there because there is no guarantee that Josh Stevens will become the finished product. I think he will. Yeah. I think he will. Yeah, Sheldon Kendall is another good player. But no, I think it's all good, mate. I think it's all good. I think we've got exciting times ahead. And I think it's probably the first time that, I think it's exciting. You're looking forward to the transfers. We're not just getting, 30-year-old journeymen who are finishing their careers or, I'm going to say Ollie Burke, but there was a piece earlier of Ollie Burke basically, I don't know if that journalist who wrote that or that whoever wrote that was dead serious, but the Scottish Gareth Bale that he was calling Ollie Burke, which I don't think I'd agree with, and I don't think most of the people on here would agree with that, would you?
If I was Gareth Bale, mate, and I'd been compared to Ollie Burke, I'd start playing golf and all. Fuck that. Slapping the face.
And he's fucking good at golf as well, isn't he? So, those of you thinking, where's Omar? Omar's birthday was yesterday, or today, actually. Omar's birthday is today, and he is out and about with his family. So hopefully he's enjoying that. And if you are watching back, hopefully you got your barnet cut because he looks like his barber has sold up and moved without telling him. But yeah, if you see him tomorrow at the game, come and give him a birthday dig or give him a pint, and it would just make him feel better. He loves the cuddle. So yeah, if you want to give him a cuddle, it really love that.
Just on the
go on.
Just on the model. The only thing I'm going to say, I'm going to be slightly negative here, and I'll try not to be fair, but I am going to a bit of a warning, I guess. It's great But the concern is now you've now got 20 million in the bank, and if you don't spend that well, then you've just lost two good players in Fleming and SA. And if you don't keep like priming the world sort of thing, that will quickly dry up, and it can all come to an end quite quickly. We've seen it before with better clubs in Millwall where they've spent money poorly. Look at Spurs with the Bow money, for example. If you don't spend it well, it goes.
But what about if you spend it well without spending it? For instance, so say for instance that the French guy's a swap, just out of instant. Say he is, then that's what I reckon he's got to be worth. What, 1.5 maybe million, maybe, and then you're looking at Connolly, what we got on a loan.
He's a permanent, isn't he?
So, huh?
He's a permanent deal, isn't he?
I don't know if he is or he is. I think he might be a permanent, but I think he's on a short contract. I think I'm not sure. Right. I'm not sure. I read somewhere that I thought it was a loan, but maybe it isn't. But you know, he needs to prove himself. And there was a lot of hatred, like a lot of people moaning on Twitter. Oh, we've got him. He's owning this, and you know, I've had loads of DMs from people and loads of people, you know, moaning about him and all that. Listen, right? He's a young lad, right, who got pushed into this fame of football and fortunes and everything else, and unfortunately he couldn't necessarily handle everything what come with it, and he had a little bit of a fall. He had a, you know, whatever you want to call it. He came out on Sky Sports and admitted to his addictions, and you know, said he's had his problems and his demons and everything else, and he wants to sit there and get back. And I think that probably we're the club to probably help him with that. We've helped a few players with that over the years. And I think that if he is genuinely wanting to get himself back on track, then I think realistically we would be the club to support him, including fans.
Because to be fair, I think Conley's a great signing in his own little way. If you look at, not every signing's got to be a 10 out of 10. You know, it is what it is. We've got rid of a 32-year-old whose legs were gone, and playing well past his peak, and we've got in a younger guy that's got everything to prove, and clearly got the talent because he's done it. I just mean on a bigger scale, if we go out in January or in the summer, start spending this money, and you get in, it's only going to take one or two bad signings, or signings that are not of the required standard to actually improve the squad. Which again, to be fair, so far, in my opinion, I think Gallen's got every single one right.
I do too.
I can't really criticise too. I'm not criticising what he's done. I'm just saying that the pressure is on the club now to a degree, because we've never had 20 million to spend.
No,
and now we do, and they've got. If you get it wrong, people will then start asking questions. So, you know,
just for the Beak. We've changed the way we do business. So we never really used to be able to sell players for any sort of money, ranging across the years from Tim Cahill was 1.1. We've had a few players. We sold Saville for 8.4, but they didn't end up paying the money, all of it. So we ended up getting him back. So we've never really sold players for big value money. But we've changed the way we do things. We're concentrating more on a younger team, development team, and then obviously selling players and making money that way. So it's a different process for us. It's one what we're learning on. It only started this season, but I think it's so far so good. I think Gallen knows what he's doing. I think Gallen's got, you know, an eye. I think we have to say to our scouts seem to be doing a great job with finding these players and, you know, doing the detailed reports on these players, and, you know, going to view them and, you know, making sure that they would fit into our style of play. I think Alex Neil is having pure involvement. I don't think he's not getting involved. I think he's, you know, he's having decisions. I think he's probably making a few. But I think the big important bit, it seems as if Gallen and Alex Neil seem to get on.
Yeah, and I've got to say, I mean, there's been a hell of a lot said about Gallen since he joined the club, and I think some of the opinions on him are absolutely outrageous, in my opinion. Every single sign I think we've got so far, in my opinion, has been bob on. I can't think of one that you'd sit there and go categorically that was a miss. The only one you'd maybe be on a bit on the fence about is Langstaff. We've gone into great detail about where Langstaff is and some of the circumstances around that. I don't think it's Langstaff that he's maybe not hit the numbers he did in the past. So I don't think there's any reason to question what Gallen's done. And I mean, ultimately, we can only judge him on what he's done so far. And I think the fact that we're sitting here on what is it today? 16th day?
17th for the first, which is Omar's 30th birthday.
Right. So 17th of Jan, and we've already got 2 signings in the door. That is absolutely unheard of for us.
Do you know what happened 30 years ago tomorrow?
Come on.
We beat Arsenal in the FA Cup at Highbury. And if you go over to our Twitter, I posted the full game there this morning as a tribute to what we've done 30 years ago to Crama. But if you look on our Twitter feed, if it's still there and it hasn't been copyrighted yet, then there is the full game of Arsenal versus Millwall. And you might even see yourself in the crowd. There's a lot of crowd shots. So obviously a lot of you will be 30 years younger, but you might well be in there. If I put it on YouTube, it will get copyright straight. So yeah, it's not on YouTube, but it's on Twitter. So go over there and have a look.
So what we're saying is, minute Millwall's born, will start going downhill.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, no, I mean, I was talking to Omar about this the other day. In the last 30 years with Millwall, we ain't really had that bad. We've had a few bad bits, but we ain't had that bit. We've had more promotions than demotions. We've had FA Cup final. We've had a few good FA Cup runs.
7 times at Wembley. I'm bored of it now.
Yeah. But that's it. When the joke is that the Jubilee line was basically made just so that we could get to Wembley the easiest way.
Mm-hmm.
Straight from Bermondsey, straight to Wembley. It was easy for the police and all that. Wasn't there a bit of row signing? He was, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Again, Nesbitt bad attitude. Nesbitt two knee jobs. A lot of potential. Fucking never delivered though, did it?
But he's a perfect example of what I mean about there needs to be a degree of caution how they spend this money, because if you get 1 or 2 Nisbets, that money will go quickly.
But I don't think we will make those decisions no more. I don't. And listen, I'm not saying that he ain't going to have a stinker, because at laws of average, at some point, he's going to have a stinker, right? But I can't see it at the minute. I think we're looking at younger players, we're looking at lower league players where they've got a sell-on advantage, a sell-on benefit, and right now, and again, I think right now with Alex Neil and his history of developing youth and playing youth and providing pathways and everything else, I think realistically that's it. If you speak to anyone who's in there, I mean, they all sit there and say that Alex Neil is a serious fella, but he explains what he wants to do. He explains why he's going to do it, and it seems as if people are just buying into it and going, yeah, we want to play for him, we want to run through walls for him. There's stuff out there that he's saying that the dressing room's good, which I believe. Again, you're going on to something what you said the other day about, don't you need an arsehole in the dressing room as such? Don't the dressing room need to have a bit of a nasty edge to it, which I agree with. But I think so far, I don't think it's as bad as we thought it was going to be, which is probably going to disappoint a hell of a lot of people. Some of the ones what have been moaning and groaning, what seem to have disappeared. But I haven't got. I mean, listen, if you've got anything in the comments, come and say. Let me catch up with the comments a bit. I mean, say what you want to say, Frank. While I just go through some of these comments. Go on.
Yeah. I mean, as I said, I'm not trying to put too much of a down on things with the money and stuff. And as I said, to clarify, I think everything we spent so far has been bang on. And I just think as a club, we're a club that financially we know we've not got much room to manoeuvre. And if we get one or two expensive signings wrong, we're not a Leeds, we're not a Leicester when they come down that can just go and throw more good money after bad and fix it. We're never going to be that. So we need to make sure, like we have so far, that we get every single one right. And if we do that, then happy days. I mean, that's my biggest concern. That if we start spending this money poorly, because the reality is, Gallen we've never had 20 million in his whole career. At Charlton, he wouldn't have spent 20 million the whole time he was there. Probably same at QPR. So, need to get it right.
Yeah. Well, Millwall's never had 20 million to do it, has it?
No, exactly. Uncharted territory for everyone, really.
I reckon this Beak, mate, the only reason he's popped up on why we popped up on his feed is it looks as if he used to live down here. He worked on the Jubilee line extension. He worked on Mud Shoot. He's worked down here. He's drank in Millwall pubs, and I think he's just got a secret. We're his secret club. We're his, that what's the word I'm looking for? What's the
Guilty pleasure.
Guilty pleasure.
Mm.
That's it. That's what I think it is. So yeah. Jimmy Cricket says every team is starting to adopt this model and want to play out from the back. Football will go full circle eventually, and everyone will play 4-4-2 with a big man up top and 38-year-old general in midfield. To be fair, I hope it does, because going back to 4-4-2 is when things were there.
Well, football does go in cycles, doesn't it?
Millwall's got. Sorry, one sec. Beat. Millwall's probably got the best owner we've ever had in probably our history, to be fair. Compared to others out there in the Championship, I think we're on a solid base with the ones we've got, 100%. I'd rather have an owner of 50% of the morals what I've got than someone like the ones at Reading.
Mm.
Wouldn't you?
I can't complain about any of our own about the owners at any time they've been with the club. Amount of money they've spent to keep us going, and as we said earlier, some of the times we've had over the last couple of years under the Berelsons, the times that you would never have guessed the Millwall fan that you could have never expected. So
that's it.
That family's done wonders for this club.
No, that's it. Matthew Webber again has got something there. Look, Gallen was brought in to make us sustainable and ideally profitable. And within his first 6 months, he's brought in £20 million.
Mm. I don't think we'll ever be profitable, though. I don't think any club at this level can ever be profitable, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think you're probably right there. I mean, we were putting in 10, 13, 15 million a year. So, yeah, going to be a little bit so fair. To be fair, Break, we've got incredible. Everyone's just saying what I just said. So, Peter, I'm the Villa guy. You guys should be the biggest team. I don't know what you're saying there. Any other points there before we start looking at which is actually who said they're going to spend the money? No, they're going to invest it in Bitcoin. It's going to be a new Millwall cryptocurrency, and everyone's going to bring in. They're going to make even more. So yeah,
it's a good point. Though. It's a good point. I don't think they'll spend all of it.
No, I don't think they will either. I think,
and we can't expect them to. If that family wants to get a little bit of money back, fuck me, they've earned that, haven't they?
No, that's it. Dan Riggs says Gallen is painting his masterpiece at Wall. Let him cook. So far, so good. Like Frankie said, the man's never had £20 million to spend potentially. Here's one for you. Say, and again, thanks, Tony. Good morning, Tony, because you're over in New Zealand, aren't you? So it is good morning to you. Here's one for you then, Frankie, and to the chat. If we sign Poku from Peterborough and we get, and I know Poku is injured at the minute, and we get Louis Barry on loan, that'd be an unbelievable window, wouldn't it? Not including anyone else, just them. If we get those two, and that's it. But say we get those two, I don't know, rumours what are out. So look at the rumours what are out there now. We get those two, and we get Coburn. So 5 players in, and
Coburn.
2 out. Yeah, say if we sign Coburn, there's rumours floating around that we might sign. I've seen a couple of bits where people reckon that we might end up getting Coburn on a permanent.
Oh, really? I haven't seen that at all.
I don't know if he will or not, because there was rumour that he was going to go back in January. So we've got him for the end of the season at least. So yeah.
If we
Would
could,
that be a good season? Would that be a good transfer window?
Oh, ridiculous! If we could finish the window with Louis Barry, Poku, any established wingers, attack midfielders, I don't think we could complain about that whatsoever. You know, I mean, the squad at the end of January will be stronger than the squad at the beginning of January. How many clubs can say that at the end of the January transfer window? That you're better off coming out of it? Not many.
Yeah.
I saw a comment in the chat. I think it was from Connor, but you'll probably come to it a bit around how many signings do you think we still need?
Oh, well, yeah, reckon.
Would you reckon?
Reckon we get any more transfer? That one there.
That's
or is it another one? Yeah. I reckon maybe 2 or 3. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think we're going to necessarily need. I mean, realistically, let's look at it. So I don't think we need any more. Probably in defence for now. Summer maybe, but I think probably now with the French boy, I think we're probably all right.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need midfield. I think we need attacking midfielders to be able to help out the boys up top. I don't think we need strikers. I think we've got enough now, but I do think we probably need. I would say wingers, and I would say wingers and attacking midfielders with pace.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree. I personally think we still need 2 more, and I think we need a attacking midfielder and ideally a left winger. And I think if you can get them that are good for now, but people that we can build a squad on, not the likes of Watmore, a little bit stopgap. No. You can get some quality additions in them areas.
Yeah,
I think we're then looking really good for the summer. You're halfway there with your rebuild, and we knew this rebuild would take years, but we're already halfway there. If you can get them too,
but we're already Mark. Yeah, no, I agree. And Mark and that have already, Mark Fairbrother and all that's come out and said that we're looking at the Prem in 2030 and all of that. But right now, I think we're all right. I've seen someone put in there. I don't know if it's out there yet. Is it out there yet? But basically, we've got. I haven't seen Millwall post it yet. Actually, to be fair, we've got Leeds on Saturday, the 8th of February at 12:15.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be live on BBC. Is it live on BBC? No, it's not. So Leyton Orient versus Man City is the live game on BBC. We've got. So our game's been moved from 3:00 to 12:15, which is a lovely early journey. I think you can get the 10:00 train. What gets you in about 10:30. Well, the 8:00 train will get you in about 10:30. So yeah, I think what Omar posted earlier on it. So yeah, I think it's done that way. So yeah, we'll be Pingu is it's not Pingu, is it?
Yeah,
it's Poku, isn't it? Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah. So listen, there'll be a few quid coming in from the property development. Yeah, there will be at some point. And to be fair, if you really look down at it, I think the Berylson family are pretty much 150, 160 million in. And you think with the whole old lot we had and everything else, but you look at it, they're 150, 60 million in. We own nothing. So we don't own the training ground. We own the training ground, what's lump of mud at the minute, with nothing on it as such, because we brought that fairly cheap. But we don't own the ground. That's owned by Lewisham. We've just got a long lease in it. We don't own the training ground. We don't own anything else. Realistically, it was like they were just kept shoveling money in without any way of comeback. So I remember an article back in 2014. I think it was 2014, 2013, 14 when John took over, and I think it was in the Daily Telegraph or the Times, and he was questioned and said, what happens if the football club don't work out? He said, well, I just make my money out of development. So, you know, even if you look at that, you're looking at he invested so much into the club without any way of guaranteeing any payback until that regen. And you were just like, that takes a little bit of, you know, that's a lot of commitment. £150 million in a club what weren't ever looking as if they were going to really go for it or make an investment or, you know, turn around profit. In the last 6 months, we've probably done more for youth development within our setup and looking as if we potentially could make a challenge in a year or 2 or 3 than we've probably looked in a long time.
And if I'm going to be frank, this is where people lose me a little bit when they're...
You can be as frank as you want. It's your fucking name.
Who's that, mate? Yeah. But, you know, when you hear fans talking about some trepidation, a little bit nervousness about the new approach and that sort of thing, and you do think to yourself, should we just carried on then as what we were doing, of spending fortunes on players that are never really going to make it, constantly sort of shopping in the bargain bins, and only ever getting to a certain point and then hitting a bit of a ceiling. Should we have done that forever and that family just keep spending money? Well, they've tried something different, and so far it's working. So, yeah, I think credit to them. Try something else.
I think it's a credit to them. I mean, you know, I mean, let's see. Let's sit and play first. There we go. Look, let's look at some of these comments. You can go through the comments, Frankie. Remember, you have access now. So yeah. So Luke says now one of the best windows I've seen in my lifetime, if not the best one. Then Luke, how old are you, fella? Poker and Barry would be brilliant. We've been linked with a Wolves kid as well.
Yeah,
can we borrow a Villa? Can we borrow a Villa for our cup tie then, Beak? We need 5 solid. You need 5 solid wins. Coburn on a perm. Hope he comes with super glue. No. Let's have a look. Strange that until now, we've always been told we have to have the leftovers on the final day.
In the transfer window. Previously, we've always waited till the last day. Yeah,
but I still think I think probably any more we'll probably be waiting towards the end of the transfer window, to be honest, because I think I always believe that if you can hold your nerve, it's like a game of poker, isn't it?
Good value, isn't there?
Clubs will want to sell, but you sometimes got to wait, especially Prem with the financial and all that lot. They want to get rid of, but you just wait till that end and go from there. So I think it is smoking funny stuff, Barry and Poker Dream Island. You don't know, mate. I'm telling you, stranger things have happened at sea, mate. But I did say at the beginning before anyone clips it, which is too late now because someone will clip that. But I did say, let's just say, if we got these, would it be a fantastic window? Longman's gone to, or he's rumoured from a Hull fan. I think he's going to Oxford.
I don't think Longman's the sort of answer that we'll look after, to be honest with you. He is that what more sort of squad option, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think he's not a great player. For us, he was a good player. I think the problem is with him, he was just too inconsistent, and I think because of that, that ruined his chances with us. If he was a lot more consistent, then I think that we would have probably used him a lot more, and he would have got a lot more. So yeah, how much do you reckon? Well, you sit there and you go, Poku, right? Poku, Jay will come in the chat in a minute, right? In the chat here, Poku is injured at the minute. He's on the last 6 months of his contract. I think Peterborough want 4 or 5 million, but if he's holding out and he just sits fast, we might not get him this window. But if he becomes free, then we might just get him free in the summer window.
Their owner come out a couple of weeks ago saying that is it Dara McAntney? Saying that on Sport, and he was saying that they turned down a bit of 3 million guaranteed and 3 million of instalments. And if he's happy to take it to tribunal because he knows he'll get the 6 million, I'm not convinced he will. I think that's a little bit of, I think he's bluffing a little bit there. But you're not looking much shy than, you're looking around the 5 million mark, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think so. So, yeah, maybe. Yeah, Oxford are in for Longman. Oxford's have gone right under the radar, mate, with some of the signings they're playing at the minute, mate. So, yeah. Coburn is as cheap as he'll ever be before he hits 30, off for 1.5 and a 2-year plus contract, and he could be a decent value. I agree with you. I think maybe $1 million, but yeah, would be worthwhile. Will Neal start to reduce Saville and Honeyman's involvement this season with the younger midfielders we have available now? Hope he rotates them, because Saville's, I think, if there was any player that I wouldn't want to necessarily sell, it would probably be Leonard and Saville, purely for the dressing room side of it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Honeyman is meant to be, a really good kid. He's just not a number 10.
At the minute, I don't think we're seeing the best out of Saville, because I think he's playing too much.
Yeah,
so if he does rotate,
yeah,
good.
Go back to the start of the season with Gary Rowett. The team was aging and old in the tooth. Things have definitely changed for the better, 100%. What's that? Oh well, mini tickets, Mickey.
I think that's for the Leeds game, I think.
Oh yeah. I've got no idea on the thing, but because it's the FA Cup, then it has to be 10% of. Has to be 10%, doesn't it? I think with the FA Cup, it's different rules in the league.
Mm.
Yeah, so I think it's 10%. And how many seater is at the road? 40,000, 50,000.
I don't think it's quite 50.
So say 40. So you're looking at 4,000 probably thereabouts. So yeah, one last visit to Deptford Manses tomorrow. Oh yeah, I might have to go in there. Yeah, it's last day, isn't it? Is it last? Yeah, last day. Deptford Manses is open, I think.
The closing.
Yeah. Remember that last day Manses open tomorrow. Yeah, I think it is. So yeah. But I think Lenny and Saville would be the only players I would keep realistically. So yeah, let's have a look through, make sure his Manses closing. Yeah, won't get 20 games a season out of Coburn.
Nope.
See Lewisham John last night score a blinder. Scored a penalty as well, didn't he?
Marquez.
A rebound. Yeah. John Marquis, yeah. Let's have a look through there. You can be as frank as you want when you're that softly spoken. 20. I'm not saying anything like that. 20. Fucking hell. Luke's 20. So yeah, he wouldn't have seen a good transfer. I suppose you've only got the back, haven't you, of Kale come back, but that turned into a wet lettuce. So yeah, I think we can get away with Danny Mack as a decent left back if we give him some time playing there. Fully agree. True, Frank. Honestly, we all forgot that up until recently we were always dog shit at buying players. Always knew we would spunk money up the wall, but that changed after buying Leonard.
Mm-hmm.
Danny Mack's right-footed. Why would he make a good left back? Because he does.
There, isn't he?
Yeah. He has done all right out there, but I agree with you. So, yeah. BBC reporting Barry may go to Celtic. And if it's between us and Celtic will probably want to kick us in for taking Kelly. Posh always want big bucks. Yep. Injured like Fleming was injured. Yeah. Yeah, could be. I see what you're saying there. Talk Sport is anti-Millwall. Yes. Just look at Tanganga. Last time Millwall did such great business was when we brought Casarini. I can't even say fucking name now. Cascarino. That's what I was trying to say. Brought Cascarino first. Yeah, no, let's bang on Mickey about Lenny. 15%. Oh, 15%. So 5,500 ish. Potentially going to see. Like to see Mitchell and Denora in midfield. Yeah, I would too. Fuck, we've been going an hour and 10 minutes. Let's get on to stat. Have you got any stats for tomorrow's game? Or you will
Yes,
have in
mate.
a minute, won't you? Go on in.
Yeah.
I don't think I've got anything to give you a tune in, mate, to be fair, but
You can sing something if you want, mate.
Well, I could do.
There's pressure now. I don't like it. Don't want too much.
Go, mate. Look. There you go. Freddie stats. Frankie stats even. Go on, mate.
Yeah, do you know what? Beeline's right, mate. It's not looking positive again. It never is these stats, is it? So failed to win any of our last five league. Go on,
can I just say what you said earlier was right. Stats are like a bikini. What you see is interesting, and what you don't see is even more interesting.
100%. If there's one thing the chat should take away, it is that.
Yeah, that's it. Go on then, mate. Tell us.
So failed to win any of our last 5 league games against Hull. Not scored in 4 of those matches. Our worst run since the 60s against Hull. Hull have won 2 of the last 26 away games in the league at the Den. And they've drew 5 of their last 6 again away at us. So it's the smart money's going to draw tomorrow. We've won just one of our last 11 league games of 5 defeats and 5 losses. But that did come at home, obviously, as we know. So only Plymouth have a greater proportion of their total championships wins this season coming at home. So we are good at home, basically. But,
Right.
at the minute. Hull have picked up 8 points in the last 7 league games under the new manager, more points in their last 12s under their old one. So they have a bit of revival under Ruben Sellers, who I believe we were potentially looking at as a potential manager candidate before he went to Hull.
Yeah, we were. I think there was a bit of belief in that. So yeah, but then he went there, and yeah, hopefully we'll beat him.
Yeah.
Tomorrow would be great if we can beat him. Then yeah, it'd be great.
But yeah, that's it really. So I said not a particularly happy fixture for Millwall fans. A tricky one in recent years against Hull, and we seem to be playing them as they're having a little bit of a revival. So no doubt be another difficult afternoon down at them. But hopefully the boys are confident after a big midweek performance, admittedly against a non-league side, but 3 goals, good performance. We've got to go in confident, we.
No, 100%. I think we'll win. I think we've got some of the youth, we've got the new boys. I think there'll be people who want to prove a point, and under the new management, I think that there's a different feel to it. And I think that I think tomorrow we're going to go for a win. Let's get your scores into fucking hell. I moved that up. That's all right. Someone said Beeline says brace yourself. Frankie's got stats.
You bang on, mate. They weren't positive at all.
No. Didn't Cass and Teddy come in for some deal? I think they did. The jingle should be more. The jingle should be a death march music. Stats don't like us. I will make Frankie a stat. I will make him a tune. I will do him a little video. Actually, I will get someone else to do the video for me. And the person who did the video at the beginning was Venom MFC off Twitter. He's now coming on with us to do some of our video content and stuff. So yeah, right, there we go. Let's go. Scores for tomorrow. I'm trying to read all these comments and it's fucking keeps throwing me, but we'll go through there. So 2-0 win for us. Would be great to score more than 1. Steve's gone 3-1. 2-1 Luke. 2-1 Chris Brown. I've signed up again, Millwall. Yeah. Day Millwall 1-0. Alex Neil has changed our MO against relegated teams. 2-0 Paul Edmonds, 2-0 Peter Sullivan. Luke, only stats like us is Charlton. Yep, and you've never seen Charlton beat us, Luke, if you're only 20. So yeah, there's a stat for him. It's over. I think it's over 26 years. I think it's over 10,000 day. I can't think now. I'll check it in a minute. I think it was 90. No, it wasn't 96. Don't know why I was thinking 90. I'll find it in a minute.
I'll be 4 years old.
Yeah. Millwall 3-0. Williams hat trick. That would be great, wouldn't it, for the lad? 3-1. 3-1. Hull have a win percentage of 0.536%. That's a stat. And here's a stat, to be fair. Tony 3-1. Lions Raw 3-1-0. Mark 1-0. Not enough of you press like, by the way, on tonight's show. There's loads of you watching on YouTube. There's over 100 plus, over a good 100 plus on there watching. And we've got about 32 people who press like. So come on, press that like button. Same deal. Teddy was a youth player here a couple of seasons before Cascarino. Set up 3-5-2. Then a 3-0 win, 1-0 Millwall. 26 years. I was. So, 26 years is the last time Charlton beat us. Unless you take in between that, there was a friendly. Well, Charlton drew or beat us with not a full team, but they claim that as a beat. But
what pathetic state of affairs.
They are pathetic, but yeah.
What do you reckon, Mick? What's your score prediction for tomorrow, mate?
I'm going to go 2-1. 2-1. Actually, do you know what? Fuck it. It's Omar's 30th birthday. I'm going to go 3-0. 3-0 Millwall. And I reckon the new boy comes on and scores 1. And if Williams plays, Williams scores. And Danny Matt comes on and scores another. There you go, 3-0.
Absolutely no, mate. Put a bet on that because the odds on that would be insane.
Oh, I don't bet, so yeah.
Oh well, I might
you can put a bet on it for you, all right? You can put a bet on, and I'll see you tomorrow. Right? I'll give you a $5 tomorrow, mate. Put a bet on that. But if that comes in, mate, everyone will be wanting me to give them the shows every week. So yeah, no, that's it. Just to give you a heads up. Deptford Mans is closing down on the 25th of January. On their website, they're saying we're selling out much earlier in the day than normal, and I don't want you to be disappointed and miss out on your last pie and mash. If you can please aim to be in the shop by midday. They can't give you exact closing times for the last few weeks, and they're not selling any more pies. The shop will cease trading on the 25th of Jan. This basically fucking hell, joins up with the end of their lease. So that this is reading whoever wrote this. So it says so that me and my wife can enjoy a long, healthy retirement. All our family have good established careers, so we have no interest in the business. I'm not prepared to give away the recipe. We have no idea what the land. That's commitment, isn't it? Don't you think? Do you know what I mean? I'm not prepared to sell the business and sell it to someone else who's a stranger, who's not the family, and I'm not going to give them the recipe. So basically, when they go, it goes. I'm not prepared to give away the recipe. We have no idea what the landlord wants to do with the building. A big thank you to your customer over the years. It is with a heavy heart that we announced the passing of my mum, Sheila Maskell, at 91. She was a daughter of Michael Maynes, the founder of Mansley's Pie and Mash Shops. She worked in the shop with her mum and dad were alive, and then managed it along with her dad until they both retired, with dad passing away in September 2022. It is an end of an era, and they will be sadly missed. We're now open for fully in 9 till 2, but potentially make sure you're there by 12. it is an end of an era. I mean, we still got obviously Manzies on Tower Bridge. But yeah, a lot of the Deptford boys, a lot of the Millwall from that side. Yeah, I have, Tone. I've definitely got someone else's in. So yeah. So yeah, Manzies at Deptford. Go down there and have a look. And yeah. And see it. You know, those of you who need to know where it is, you know where it is. And yeah, just get down there and see it. It's nice to know that the shop has actually been granted Grade 2 listed building, so they can't necessarily knock it down. So you never know. Maybe someone else will open a pie and mash shop there.
I very much doubt it.
Yeah, I very much doubt it as well, but you never know. Going about Manzies. I might go Manzies in the morning, actually, go Deptford. I might see what Omar wants to do. Talking about Omar, in case you didn't know, he's had a new haircut. Would you like to see it? He's going to kill me for this because he sent it to me on WhatsApp, but I'm just going to thingy. But
Just set him a like target.
Look, doesn't he look completely different?
Much better.
Much better, you old bastard. So remember tomorrow, mate, he needs a birthday dig. Give him a nice punch.
He's 30 years old now. He'd be regretting that in the morning.
Yeah.
He'd be struggling tomorrow now.
And then tomorrow, we're going to have a few beers. We'll be going out and about after the game. So yeah, if you know who we are or your contact, then or you're down at Den and you fancy coming out, then you're more than welcome to come with us. I think we're going to try and do the Weatherspoon pub crawl. So after the game, we'll probably end up meeting at the Warrior, or it's not the Warrior now, it's Surrey Docks, Weatherspoons. So yeah. Oh, Mark, is that a Brillo pad on his head? I think you might be right there, mate. So so yeah, if you want to come and join us for a beer, then do so. Frankie, anything else you want to say? I think we need a show where we just talk about bollocks in the world rather than just Millwall, so we can just rant and rave. Do you know what I mean? I think we need like a lads podcast show rather. So do you know what I mean? Sort of more
Frankie and Mick
things to right. Yeah, putting things to right rather than like talking about Millwall and stuff. So yeah.
Fuck me. If there's ever an idea, mate, that'll get us both cancelled, that is it.
Oh yeah, proper. But it'd be good though, wouldn't it? Because we could just
It
use it to
about
moan.
10 minutes, yeah.
Yeah, we could just use it to moan. Fuck me. Where is it? Look. Fuck me, Homer could scare a horse.
Look at the next one.
He's wearing his pet hedgehog.
Fuck's sake.
Right, we've got 5 minutes. Any questions in the chat before we go, or anything that you want to say? Make sure you like. There's only 60 of you have liked yet. Some of you are shy. And also, please subscribe because we are watched most weeks by about 50. I think it's about 57% of people who watch us aren't subscribed. And it means nothing to you. You don't have to set the notification bells if you don't want. It means absolutely nothing to you. But what it does do to us is puts us in front of more people. And the whole of our subscribes and all of that lot are all purely organic. And it's just something that actually helps. The more people subscribe, the more people who share. So if you see the clips and you share them on your WhatsApp groups, etc., it all helps us out. So yeah. So Daily Millwall says shampoo. What shampoo do you use? I don't normally, but I did get some for Christmas. So I got a Dove fermented one. So yeah, fuck it. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Best Ball Channel, Mickey. Thank you very much.
Completely agree.
Listen, I don't think we're the best. Maybe sometime on some of it, but I think at the end of the day, we try to offer the best. Do you know what I mean? We try to be honest up front, offer criticism when it needs it. But in a constructive manner rather than just saying, that fucker there is a cunt. We tell you why. So, yeah. Why did you bully Omar to do that to his hair? Yeah, I didn't, but he done that himself. I think what it was is he went to his normal barber and found that his barber had sold up and left. And whether it's a new barber shop and he went in and asked for something, but yeah, I don't know. Mr. Sheen, I missed that answer. I should have done that. So, yeah. Minute silence for Omar's hairline before the game tomorrow. Yeah, that'd be quite good, wouldn't it? 30 minutes, we just start randomly clapping. And then, once it's done, once the random clap goes up at 30 minutes, and then everyone just text Omar who on Twitter and just tag him in and just go like, sorry for the loss of your hairline. Wash and go. That was what I was thinking of, wash and go, but it fucking didn't work. Didn't come to my head. So, yeah. Question. Best Millwall player ever? That is a question and a half.
Probably Teddy Sheringham, isn't it? Only one to win Champions League.
Yeah, but he's a bit of a Judas, though, to a degree, on some. I don't know. We're going to have this debate soon, you know that. We're going to have the best player, and then we're going to have to decide legend, hero, or, sort of thingy of Hall of Fame even. So, yeah.
If only there was a big landmark season coming up where we could discuss that sort of thing, eh?
Do no bollocks on this channel. No. Right, that's it. It looks as if we are all done. Turkish Barber, yes. I haven't heard that since I was at school. Looks like the council car. It does, doesn't it? Nice and relaxed, simply the best. Would be up for a beer, but too far away these days. Sorry, mate, no problem. He said to the barber, "Can I have the bottom half like Mickey?" Cheeky fucker. Another one there. Kitch and Teddy. I'll probably say Kitch, to be fair, mate. Dario Posse, everyone else there. So yeah, Frankie, any final words, fella?
I haven't done my predictions yet. I'm gonna go 3-1 tomorrow.
Oh, sorry, mate. Go do your predictions. What would be your score for tomorrow, Frankie? What's your fucking hell? I can't talk tonight. What is your prediction?
3-1. I reckon Ivanovic with 2, and Aziz will play, and he'll get a third. Who scores for them? Couldn't care less.
No, that's it. We are That Millwall podcast. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the Beak for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you every week. We go live on a Friday at 8 o'clock every week. And good luck in fitting out the casinos. I think that's what you said you do. Thank you to everyone else who's watched. Make sure you sub, make sure you subscribe, make sure you share with all your friends. And which video shall we end with? Fuck it, we're going this way. Laters. Oh, giddy up and get away. Oh, we're going Millwall and we're going today. Here we go. Rocking all over the dance.